What's going on there, guys, and welcome back to another video. They say that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. However, that's not really the case when it comes to Britney Spears and her ex-husband of 55 hours, Jason Alexander. Earlier this week, news made rounds that Alexander crashed Britney Spears' private wedding and claimed she invited him there, but here's what really happened between Britney Spears and ex-Jason Alexander. So without much further ado, let's dive right into the video. Number 5. Married for 55 hours in Vegas. Jason Alexander's perspective on what happened between him and Britney Spears when they married in the early 2000s has changed over time. Following a quick wedding ceremony in Vegas, the marriage was eventually annulled. Alexander just said that the two weren't ready to make the huge jump at the time. The event in Las Vegas took place on January 3, 2004. Their marriage was declared null and void on January 5, 2004. According to court filings, Britney lacked knowledge of her conduct to the point that she was incapable of consenting to the marriage. In 2012, Alexander told ABC News everyone went insane because there was no prenup. It stopped when Britney returned. That was a crazy ride. When questioned about the wedding's origins, Alexander said that party goodies were involved. In August 2020, Alexander told Us Magazine, "I'm here to offer solidarity for the #FreeBritney campaign for Britney. This had been a terrible condition in Britney's life for quite some time. It's had an impact on all her relationships, and especially the one shared by Alexander and her, as per Alexander." Alexander has also spoken out about wanting to see Britney receive the justice she deserves, and based on personal interactions, she clearly doesn't want to be in a conservatorship, and it's negatively impacting her life to this day. Number 4. Shortest marriage in American history. The typical divorce in the United States occurs after 8 years of marriage. Renee Zellweger and Kenny Chesney lasted 24 times longer, Kim Kardashian and Kris Humphries 40 times longer, and Dennis Rodman and Carmen Electra 324 times longer. In comparison to Britney and Jason, Rodman and Electra are typical Burns and Allen, that's George Burns and Gracie Allen, kids who were married for 38 years till her death. Britney Spears and Jason Alexander, a childhood acquaintance, were married for 55 hours, which is 1/1000th of the typical American marriage that ends in divorce. It all started and ended on New Year's Eve in 2004 for Alexander. Spears flew him to Las Vegas on a private jet after inviting him. Alexander told ABC News reporter John Berman that he went with the intention of just having a nice time. Britney flying him to Sin City wasn't exactly a booty call, as Alexander perceived it. Meanwhile, Britney said it was simply a buddy inviting a pal on a vacation. Years later, he seemed heartbroken when discussing the news of Britney Spears' engagement. Number 3. Alexander got tricked into divorce by Britney's conservator. Alexander has talked about how the conservatorship got between his relationship with Britney. He said that Britney's conservatorship lawyers told him that if he signed the paperwork or the annulment, they would allow him and Britney to keep their relationship going. Alexander also said that he was told by the lawyers that if they still felt the same way in 6 months, the couple could be granted a legitimate marriage. They were still allowing Britney and Alexander to talk on the phone, so the two spoke every day, and Alexander still believed the story he was given. However, after a 30-day period, he claimed Britney's phone number was no longer in operation. Number 2. Did they stay in touch through Britney's conservatorship? Spears' personal life has been in the spotlight throughout her long career. Jamie Spears, the Crossroads alum's father and previous conservator, had a tumultuous relationship with her, which came to a climax in 2021 when she testified about the alleged mistreatment she received during her 13-year conservatorship. Throughout the court struggle, Alexander maintained that he was in communication with Britney despite the fact that he had attended multiple #FreeBritney demonstrations. In the previous several months, we've been in touch rather often, Alexander said when talking about his relationship with Britney in 2020. "I'd want to be back in her life in some capacity, but the conservatorship is preventing me from doing so. We were never given a chance the first time. If there's still a feeling, we'll see where they go, but that's not. You know it's on her," he continued. It was as if he had a good idea that there was more than just conservatorship standing in the way of his relationship with Britney. Britney's conservatorship was terminated by a court in November of 2021. She accepted Asghari's proposal some months before their wedding in June of 2022. Meanwhile, Alexander was arrested for trying to crash the wedding and was charged with 3 misdemeanors: trespassing and refusing to leave the premises, violence, and destruction. Number 1. Breaking into Britney's wedding. After attempting to crash Britney and Asghari's private wedding, Alexander was detained by court. However, Alexander had tons to say himself. "I'm here because Britney Spears invited me. She's the first woman I've ever married, my only wife," he remarked at the moment on Instagram Live. Alexander claimed that the wedding was a big sham and there was no one at the event besides Britney's husband. On his Instagram Live, he talked about how that should clue audience into how this was a setup and not an actual wedding. He was charged with 3 misdemeanors and his bail was set at $22,500 according to us. Alexander received a 3-year restraining order against Spears less than a week after trespassing at her home on her wedding date in June 2022. According to TMZ, a judge added a felony stalking charge to Alexander's case. The amount of his bail was set at $100,000. Well, that's it for this video, guys. Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, then let us know by giving it a big thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell icon so you don't miss out on our forthcoming videos. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and until the next one, do take care and good luck.